This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan.
Driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Well, thank you so much, Parker, and welcome to Time Signatures. I'm your host, Jim Ervin, and today's guest got his start in music on a much larger stage than most. A contestant on 2020 Season 18 of American Idol, our guest instantly caught the ear of AI's judges, earning him a spot in the competition. He made it all the way into the top 11 before being taken out, but he wasn't slowed down one bit. In 2023, our guest was signed by Blind Pig Records, and he's about to release his first album on the label. The album is called Drifter, and the musician is none other than Louisiana native Jovin Webb. Man, welcome to Time Signatures, and you're going through a hurricane, is that correct?
Yes. I'm going through the whole seasonal thing of a hurricane, man. Just muscling through it.
Now you're good and safe, right?
Yeah, we're fine for right now. I mean, we've done this many a times.
Okay.
Many times.
All right, man. Well, Jovin, there's a ton of stuff to talk about here, but I have to start at the beginning, man. What is your first memory of music as you were coming up?
My first early memories of music was just going to church and hearing that Southern gospel music, which is, it holds blues, country, soul, jazz, and everything. So my early introduction was in the thick of it.
Very cool. Now, did you always kind of have an attraction to the blues? Did you start with other genres? Where did that take you?
Well, I like to say blues comes straight from gospel music. I mean, it's about being down and looking for salvation. So it was always there. It just, as I got older, I got to really appreciate what it was and really understand it.
Sure. Now, as you were coming up, Jovin, who were your go-to musicians? Did you have any favorites, any favorite songs that stick out in your mind?
Oh, number one of all time, my favorite artist ever is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, even though that doesn't show for what I do, but that's been my biggest inspiration, as well as like the Temptations, Otis Redding, Howlin' Wolf, Reverend Al Green.
Oh yeah. You can't see it, but I have a signed poster up here. A friend of mine gave me. She's very good friends with the Reverend Al Green. And it's one of my prized pieces in the studio here. Well, obviously, the 2020 appearance on Season 18 of American Idol has served as a genuine launchpad for your career. I mean, I know you were out there busting your tail and working hard before that, but I saw the response from Lionel, Katie, and Luke. And to be honest, man, watching gave me goosebumps. And I have to agree with Luke Bryan. I definitely would put some bourbon away listening to your music. But talk about that competition and the process during your stay on the program.
That show let me get an insight on so much about myself and how far I have to go, but also how far I've come. And
Sure.
it just to have that reassurance by them really, really meant a lot. But it was crazy. I mean, I was definitely one of the older guys, contestants that was on the show, and just seeing how good these young cats are, young guys and girls, and it just made me think a lot. Why am I here? They're so much better. But I was every day was really, really appreciative, and just being amongst this crazy roller coaster every day with these new people, trying to try new things but stay authentic. So it was a journey. It was a journey.
Now, obviously, 2020 was right in the heat of the pandemic. How did that affect the competition, man?
That thing, not only us, but gave the world, of course, a kick in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
So it took us, definitely took me out of my element. I remember coming back and making the top 20, and we were leaving Hawaii, and we were in the airport, and we saw the stuff on the screen about COVID. It was like, yeah, that'll never affect us. And to realizing that by the time we got back and then went to LA, we stayed there for like a week, and they're like, yeah, this COVID thing is happening, so you're going home. So they sent us home and we had to shoot the show from home, which we like one of the first shows ever to shoot a whole live
Wow.
show from the house, 3 iPhones. Like so that was crazy. But when I say I got taken out of my element, I personally feel like I was one of the last in that group as like really big showmen when it came down to the top 10. So taking that crowd away from me kind of took away a part of my fame.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing though still.
Well, yeah, and I mean and I have to be honest, I don't get to watch a lot of television in the evening. I do kind of keep peripheral tabs on, shows like American Idol. Um, but you had been digging away at this and trying to build your career before you got there, correct? How long had you been doing that?
I mean, this has been a process since I was younger, just trying to figure it out because I was always in music some kind of way, but
Yeah.
I really didn't know where I was going with it. I mean, I had no real direction as in to have a band or do any of this stuff. I just wanted to be a part of one and play drums and stuff like that. But I started singing karaoke later on, and that kind of started going and give me a little confidence, and people start to notice, like, hey, he's all right. He ain't too bad. So I started with that, and kind of right around when I was getting ready to have my son, I was about to give up on trying to pursue an actual singing career, whatever that was, because I had got stuff to do. So I was working in the plants and working at the plants and restaurant. And my friend Duran Jones from Duran Jones and Indications, he he's one of the guys from the area where he got in something and it started to take off. So he reached out to me when he was getting ready to go on his first little tour, and he wanted me to fill in for the wedding band he was in. So he reached out to me, and we would literally, I mean, I would get off from 12 hours at the plant, and he would try to teach me how to be this front man, something I never been.
Oh
So
man.
we would do that for we did like a month or so, and then I got my first professional job filling in for him. So long story short, I didn't get the position to that band, but that was like my rebirth. It was like, hey man, you can do this, and now it's time to really sell out into it and really go for it. So amongst me getting on the American Idol thing, I was somewhat getting my feet wet, and I was starting to get this confidence, and I just knew I wanted the world to hear me. That's all I knew.
And I have to tell you that came across really well when you did your audition because you owned that spot during your audition. I can't say enough about it, man. It was an incredible process to watch. It really was.
Um, I like to tell people this little quick story.
Sure.
Because it happened so funny for me because the year before I was on American Idol, I tried out and I was afraid to go in front of the judges or whatever that was, and I sent in a video of me doing one of my original songs. Well, just so happens they happened to like it, and they was like, "Well, come to the next audition." But I, at the time, did not check my email a lot,
Oh
so
no.
I went back and checked it. Like this, thing, like, I wonder what happened, and I went back and checked, and it was like, "Yeah, come to the next audition." And I'm like, "Yeah, I missed it. I freaking missed it." So
Oh,
like, and at this point, I was 27, and the cutoff age for American Idol was 28. So I was like,
okay.
I freaking missed it. Like I missed my golden opportunity, and I felt like so horrible. So I told myself next year, this is my last chance. I'm gonna go audition and show my face, and that was the one.
Wow. Uh, I
Almost a
want
missed
to,
opportunity.
yeah, no kidding. Now I want to fast forward a little bit to 2023, Joven. You get your shot, you're signed to Blind Pig Records. I'd like you to talk about that process and how did it feel to finally have a deal after working so hard to make a name for yourself?
uh, there's nothing. Don't want to get religious, but that's nothing more I could say than thank God for that. So he kept me going through it, fighting through it. My family and friends, my son, my
Sure.
nobody will let me give up, even when I felt down. And that's just the whole thing in life. I guess just whatever you want, just keep trucking. And to finally have somebody believe in me, and for Blind Pig to be what it was, and to let me bless that record label because they were kind of restarting it. And it was just a privilege, man. It gave me a new fire. I feel like I get to these points and I'm like, all right, well, I'm stagnant, what's going on? And then something else happens to reassure you that you're on the right track. So I thank them for that.
And I was looking at your producer. You got paired with Tom Hambridge, who happens to be Buddy Guy's drummer, a gifted
Yeah.
producer, and a killer musician in his own right. Now, that must have been a thrill for you, yeah?
Oh yeah. Is that buddy guy behind you on that picture?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Tom Hambridge opened for him about 3.5 weeks ago down in Kalamazoo, and that's a picture from that concert. I got a press pass to shoot it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man, my buddy is like a legend from Louisiana. So it's like really cool, really, really cool, man. And like I said all the time, it just show you how crazy and tangible things are when you when you really think about it. Because who would have thought this label would pick me up, pick that guy? Like it's wild, it's wild.
Yeah. I want to change the page here a bit, and I want to talk about the album Drifter, Jovin. Due to be released October 18th, this is a 12-track collection showcasing not only your incredible vocal abilities, but your harmonica skills as well. How does it feel to see this project completed and ready for release?
It is like no other. I definitely had a really emotional moment when I finally got to put a vinyl in my hand with my face on it. So it was it's so wild and I'm just trying to take it all in, stay humble and just really hope it works because I'm so proud of the product that we have and to really get to tell my side and to show my pain and to show who I am and how I got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Did I hear you say vinyl?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got vinyl sitting right here, buddy. I'm excited to hear that you're going to have vinyl. That's great.
Oh yes, so my parents were both of my parents passed away. My dad actually passed away while I was on American Idol, and my
Wow.
mom passed away in 2012. And one of my first physical copies of music was a Rockin' Robin 45. It's that's I was like so I wanted to go back to that and like from the beginning. Like
Yeah.
seeing her with the big James Brown 45, the payback, or seeing the Al Green and stuff. Like that's what I first seen. So I just wanted to do that.
Very cool. Yeah, the vinyl bug bit me in April of this year, and I got to tell you, I got quite a collection so far, and I'm having a blast. I even bought a ultrasonic cleaner. I mean, I'm all set, man. But
I just got my first
listen,
record player.
oh, dude, I got a 1978 Pioneer PL 518. This thing's
Ooh.
a beast. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. But anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about a couple of your songs primarily because I've had an opportunity to preview the album, which I
Mhm.
genuinely appreciate, by the way. But man, your style reminds me a little bit of Toronzo Cannon. You've got a similar song, "Sing from the Soul," "Honest from the Heart" blues style, and I think this is going to endear you to many a blues fan, my friend. Talk about your writing style, if you would, just a little bit.
There was a few songs that I wrote for myself, just out of straight experience, like while I'm going through something and just writing it down. But the cool thing about getting with Tom was, I don't know, he made me dig deeper. Like he just made me really hone in to not every line, but every word and keep it simple. And I feel like he just helped me relay my message a little bit better than what I would have. And yeah.
Well, for my money, "Bottom of a Bottle" is perhaps the best song in the album, Jovan. I have to tell you, I felt the same powerful delivery that I felt with your Idol audition. And for real, this song is one of the best songs, and it serves as a hook for everything else that follows it on the album. Talk about that song for just a minute.
Uh, uh, I hate to say it like this, but if there's one thing you're gonna find out about Louisiana, we drank down here. we find any occasion to take a good sip. So I mean,
Okay.
it's a common thing out here, and just to be metaphoric, and just like we're all usually down and trying to find ways to fill that bottle back up, and not not just about alcohol. So I mean, I feel like it's relatable to everyone, and
Sure.
high and low places. And sometimes you might find me in a bar in a low place.
Well, the Toronzo reference that I mentioned a moment ago, believe me when I tell you it's a huge compliment. I'm a big fan of his music as well. That reference comes from your second single release, Save Me. You really deliver the goods in this song with your honest delivery of the lyrics. For example, I've got faith, but it still hurts. And despite everything life has thrown at you, I may never understand, but I won't be an angry man. I mean, wow. You're really bearing your soul in this song, aren't you?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's just I wanted to talk about things that I went through as well as like, try to stick to the morals of, said mom and dad and just be vulnerable. Blues is about being vulnerable and really telling how you feel and what you went through. So I tried to do my best to do that.
Now, I understand that have you already started your touring for this album?
Not yet. We're preparing in 2025 to go to Germany and a lot of surrounding areas as well as France. And I guess once we get done with that, we're gonna come back to America and do the thing. But that's it's on the way. It's in the works.
Well, we need to put Michigan on the map and we need to get you up here. There's a couple of places that if you want, I can give you a couple of addresses and numbers to reach out to, but we would
Yes, yes.
love to see you up here, Joven. I seriously, I'm not trying to powder your behind here. We really enjoy the music, and I'm excited to see what you do with your career. I truly am.
Thank you, thank you. I would love to come out there. I would love to come. Uh,
Very cool.
even with this whole idol thing, I had never really per se traveled that much, and it's a fun process. It makes you feel like you're really getting in the nitty gritty, and I just want to I want the whole experience. I want all of it. I want to see every city I can,
There
every
you
every
go.
state I can.
Now, Joven, where can people find out more about you? Maybe order some merch, see where you're playing, and maybe even book you for a gig.
Um, I usually post all of my stuff on my Facebook and Instagram, but I am in the midst of getting a website built, so just hold on. I'll have that thing up soon to have more information about all that stuff. We have merch on the Blind Pig website for the shirts as of now. We're working on ideas for my personal merch and getting stuff on the way with that. So it's all been crazy and hectic, but it's slowly coming together, and all the pieces should be available very soon. But you
Very
can get
cool.
your pre-orders if you go to Blind Pig website.
Very cool. And you can trust me. I will get an order in for vinyl and would love to have a copy of it. Jovin Webb, it has indeed been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me on Time Signatures. And listen, anytime that you need a microphone to help promote a tour, if you want to promote an album, you just give me a call, okay?
Thank you so much. Also, my next single is going to be dropping October 4th, Drifter. So self-titled. Check that out. And thank y'all so much for having me. Thank y'all.
Very cool. That wraps up this edition of Time Signatures with Jim Ervin. Thank you again to Jovin Webb for being here, but most of all to you for taking time to join us as well. For without you, none of this would be possible. Jim Ervin reminding you that keeping the blues alive is everyone's responsibility, but preserving the history of the blues one story at a time, that's my mission. Until next time, so long, my friends.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on cabs, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lccconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
You know I'm crying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
Until Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.